With millions of refugees seeking safety and shelter, a collaboration between Airbnb.org and International Organization for Migration is providing resources and solutions. Joining us now to discuss more, Kristen Berlacher from the Airbnb.org, alongside Amy Pope from the International Organization for Migration. Ladies, thank you both so much. I want to dive right in here. Amy, let's start with you. Let's talk about the state of refugees and asylum seekers. How has it evolved in recent years? And let's talk about the greatest need that you're seeing.
Today, there are over 100 million people who are on the move, and they are being displaced by a range of factors. In some cases, it's conflict, like we're seeing in Ukraine. In some cases, it's a result of disaster, increasingly so because of what's happening with the climate. So the needs are enormous, and they are global. Ukraine, Afghanistan, Sudan, Ethiopia, Somalia. The needs are immense.
You know, Kristen, let's bring you into the conversation here. Of course, you know, we can see the benefits of temporary housing relief. I feel like that's a no-brainer. But let's talk about the benefits for both the communities and, of course, the asylum seekers, the refugees, and why that temporary housing is just so essential.
Sure. Well, when refugees are forced to flee their homes, one of their most immediate and urgent needs is finding temporary places to stay. And that's why Airbnb.org is working with organizations like IOM to provide these short-term stays, and oftentimes partnering with hosts who are willing to offer their space for free or at a discount. And not having to worry about housing, even temporarily, really allows refugees to focus on other critical needs, whether that's accessing medical care or social services. For instance, we had a guest named Alina who fled her home in Odessa when the war broke out in Ukraine with just a backpack. And IOM was able to connect her with Airbnb.org hosts who not only opened their home to her, but also helped with things like groceries and doctor's appointments, really giving her that sense of connection and community, which is so important for people like Alina who have been uprooted from their homes and oftentimes separated from their families.
That's such an intangible, isn't it? Just to be able to give back in that way, and some of those things that we definitely take for granted, like the sense of community. I'm glad you addressed that. Amy, I mentioned the partnership, of course, between Airbnb and the IOM. Let's talk a little bit more about that partnership. And of course, we just mentioned some of the benefits, but I know it goes even further.
Well, if you look at the situation in Ukraine as just one example, within 1 month, we had signed an agreement with Airbnb.org to provide much needed shelter to the millions of people who are fleeing the country. And we've been able to address those most in need, women with children, those who are elderly, those with disabilities. And so having this a bit of support allows people to function and address other needs.
You know, maybe people are watching right now, maybe they have a host property already and they want to get involved. They want to learn more. They want to see how they can possibly help. Airbnb.org, is that the best place to go? Because I know we've been sharing both websites too.
Yes, it's actually, there's a lot of great information both on Airbnb.org as well as with IOM's site. And, you know, too often with these humanitarian crises, the needs on the ground will far outlast the media headlines and public attention. So really, public donations can help ensure that we can deliver sustained support.
And you know what, just on the very basic level, just to be able to help those in need, I feel like it's so important. So I'm really glad we were able to talk about this today. Again, a big thank you to Amy, Kristen, both of you today for your time. Take care, okay?
Thank you.